begin your project, you are going to lay your yarn like this, and we are going to create a slip knot. So after you lay your yarn down like this with the tail end on the right side, you are going to take the left side, the longer side of the yarn that's still connected to the ball, and flip it right over the tail end. You should have a ribbon looking piece of yarn now. Now you're going to take 2 fingers and put it underneath that loop, grab the tail end and pinch it between your 2 fingers. Now grab the long side of the yarn and pull it gently over your 2 fingers. If it gets stuck, don't worry, just use your thumb to push it over. Then you can take your crochet hook and put it inside the loop of your slip knot and pull the 2 ends to make the slip knot tighter. Then you're going to want to make sure you have some tension. So I wrap my yarn around my finger, and then I hold the tail end between my pointer finger and my thumb. And that's going to create some good tension. So next step will be to chain 5. And to chain 5, all you need to do is put your hook underneath the long piece of yarn connected to the ball of yarn. Pull that loop through the first loop, and now you have your first chain. Repeat that step. Put your hook underneath the yarn, pull it through, put your hook underneath your yarn, pull it through, underneath your yarn, pull it through, underneath your yarn, and pull it through. You should have 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The loop that's on your hook does not count as a chain. Once you complete your chain, you are going to count from the first chain after the loop on your hook, and you're going to find the 3rd one. So 1, 2, 3. So taking a closer look at your chains, this is how it will look. If you pull the 2 V's apart, you'll see a piece of yarn going through the center of the V. You're going to take your hook, put your yarn over it, and then instead of going in that top loop of your chain 3, make sure that the second piece that's going through the middle of the stitch is also on top of your hook when you insert it. So you'll have 1 loop left on the bottom. Okay, so with the yarn over your hook, put it right in that bottom loop. Once you do that, you're going to grab more yarn and pull it through, leaving you with 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over again and pull through the first 2 loops. You have 2 loops left on your hook, and you're going to yarn over and then pull that through those last 2 loops. You just made your first double crochet. We're going to repeat that double crochet into the same loop or the same chain that you just did your first one in. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2, Do this one more time in the same chain. And you should have 3 double crochets in that first chain that you initially went into, the 3rd chain from your hook. Okay, so if you look closely, you have 2 chains left. Okay, the first chain is going to be right above that knot, right above that slip knot, right here. The second chain is right underneath the double crochets that you just did. Make sure you're not entering in the same loop. So here's our double crochets, the bottoms of them in this loop. If you pull your work, there's a loop right next to it. That's the chain we're going to go into. And what we're going to be doing in this chain is a single crochet. So all you're going to do is put your hook through that loop or through that chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, and you'll have 2 loops on your hook. Now you're going to yarn over again and pull that through those 2 loops. You just did a single crochet. Your last stitch for the last chain is going to be a slip stitch. And to do a slip stitch, you're going to insert your hook, grab your yarn, and pull it through. And instead of yarning over, we're not going to do that. The yarn that we just pulled through our stitch, we are going to pull it through the last loop on our hook. And this is the first half of your heart. To do the second side of your heart, we're going to be working from the bottom up. And to do this, we are just going to turn our work. So your hook should be on the right side. To do this, we're going to be working in the same chains that we did before. So if you want to look closely before you start, go ahead and do so. There will be a hole here where our slip stitch was, a hole here where our single crochet was, and then a hole up here at the bottom of those 3 double crochets we did at first. We're going to be going back up the same 3 holes or the same 3 chains, okay? And when you're working back up, the tail end of your yarn, hold it up here towards the top of your heart. We're going to work around that tail end. Okay, so tail up here so we can work around it. And working back up, we're going to do another slip stitch into the same hole or the same chain. So yarn over after you put your hook through, then you yarn over, pull up your yarn, and pull through that last loop on your hook. Now we're going to do our single crochet into that next hole that you see there, which will be our next chain. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, you're going to yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. Now in your last hole up here, that's the bottom of the first 3 double crochets that we did. We're going to work back inside of there. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through those first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the second 2 loops. Repeat this 2 more times. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2, and 1 more. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through your first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through your last 2 loops. To finish your heart off, you're going to want to go back into the same loop and we're going to do a slip stitch. So insert your hook into the same hole that you just did those double crochets, and when you pull up, you're going to have 2 loops on your hook. Do not yarn over. We're going to pull the same yarn that we just pulled through that hole right through that last loop on the hook. And now we are going to chain 1. So yarn over and pull up a loop. Pull it so that you have a larger loop like this so we can cut our yarn. Get your scissors, cut your yarn. And this is a little loop we just made. You can go ahead and just pull that tail end right through and then pull it tighter. Okay, if you flip your yarn over or your work over, your heart over, this is where we just made that knot. This was the yarn that we were tucking under our stitches when we were working back up. So if you pull this piece of yarn, it should make this a little bit tighter and make the heart more defined. And to finish off, what we're gonna do is turn our work over again on the back side and grab our yarning needle. Then I'll put our yarn through the needle. I'm gonna put both ends through my needle. And once our yarn is through our needle, going in through the back side, we're gonna go through the bottoms of our stitches. And you can pick either side, is fine. I'm gonna go on this side. I'm gonna just go right underneath the bottoms of these stitches that we did. So you can't see my needle through the front side, only the back side, okay? Once you do that, go ahead and pull your yarn through. And you can take your needle off. And then if you pull on the ends of these, it'll make the top of your heart more defined. Okay, once you do that, you can go ahead and cut the excess yarn off the back of your heart. And there you have it. There's your first crochet heart. Go ahead and shape it if you need to. There you have it.